Welcome back to the Get Your Life series. I'm your host, Galen J Byrnside, and today's episode is going to be essential for anyone wanting to understand the subtle and sometimes invisible chains that hold people in cycles of abuse. We'll be breaking down two critical frameworks for understanding domestic violence: the power and control wheel and the 6 main types of abuse. Recognizing these behaviors is often the first step towards healing and reclaiming control over your life. Whether you're a survivor, someone who may be exhibiting these behaviors, or even a friend or family member who wants to better support a loved one, this episode is designed to give you the insights you need to understand the complex, layered nature of abuse. So with that being said, let's dive right in. We are first going to start with the power and control wheel. What is that? So the first thing in the power control wheel is using coercion and threats. An example of that is a partner might threaten to hurt themselves if the other tries to leave the relationship, creating a cycle where fear and guilt trap the person from exiting. Another power and control wheel example is using intimidation. A person might destroy objects or break things to instill fear, making the other feel as though they need to behave or face consequences. Using emotional abuse. They might repeatedly put down their partner, telling them they're lucky anyone would even want to be with them, breaking down their self-esteem bit by bit. Using isolation. An example of that is restricting who their partner can see or talk to, often getting upset if they spend time with friends or family, which makes the person feel alone and reliant on the abuser. Minimizing, denying, blaming. An example of that could be when confronted, the abuser might claim, "You're just too sensitive," or deny the incident, pushing the blame onto the other person and making them doubt their reality. For those of you that have children, using children, threatening to take the children away or turn them against the other parent, especially if they try to leave or assert any independence. Using male privilege, for all the men out there, assuming control over decisions, often dictating how the household runs or who does what, positioning themselves as the head of the household beyond fair partnership. Last but not least, using economic abuse. An example of that could be controlling access to money, not allowing the other person to work, or restricting funds, making it nearly impossible for them to leave due to financial dependency. I know we went through that kind of quick. For those who have not heard of that, it is the power and control wheel. I urge you to Google that. There's plenty of other examples out there. But we're going to transition into the 6 types of domestic violence. A lot of people did not know that there are 6 types of domestic violence. Obviously, the first one that comes to mind, and the one that you see the most, is physical abuse. The most recognized form, involving physical harm like hitting, slapping, restraining someone, where injuries are often visible but cannot sometimes be hidden. Sexual abuse. This example could be to involve or force or coerce a partner into sexual acts against their will, or making them feel they owe intimacy to maintain the relationship. Digital abuse, and this one is relatively new with the increase in technology, but monitoring or controlling someone's social media accounts, demanding passwords, or even tracking their location through technology to maintain power over them. Emotional abuse, constantly ridiculing or belittling the person, often making them question their worth or feel like they're crazy, leading to damaged self-image. Financial abuse, controlling access to finances, sabotaging work opportunities, or accumulating debt in their partner's name, making them financially dependent upon the other person. Last but not least, mental abuse, gaslighting, or manipulating someone into questioning their own reality or judgment, which can lead to long-term mental health issues like anxiety or depression. I know we went through this kind of quick, and this is more of a shorter episode, but more informational than anything else. So with all of that being said, if you have any questions about if you're exhibiting any of these behaviors, what can you do? How can you be better? I urge you to reach out to me, send me a message. I do virtual sessions, and we can tackle any of this that's going on with you or someone that you know. Thank you for joining me on this deeply important episode of the Get Your Life series. Remember, domestic violence is not always obvious, and understanding these different forms and tactics is crucial for both awareness and prevention. Whether you're a survivor, know someone who might be struggling, or just want to be more informed, remember that knowledge is power. Let's keep breaking down these walls, one story and one episode at a time. If today's episode resonated with you, please reach out, share it to start the conversation. We all deserve safe, loving relationships, and together we can change the narrative on what love truly is meant to be.